Paltrocast.
Aside from having to do press, good day for you so far?
Great day. No complaints. How's your day going?
Nonstop, but good. Are you dialing in from New York?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
Livingston, New Jersey, if the bio is correct.
Livingston, New Jersey. Yep.
So when you meet people from outside New York and New Jersey, do you tell them that you're from New York, or you just always wear the Jersey pride?
See, I'm like, okay, I'm from New York because it sounds cooler. But when they actually ask, I'm like, okay, I'm like outside of New York. but
My wife's from the Jersey Shore area, and she never says that she's from New York. It's always the from Jersey thing. And the Jersey Hall of Fame is so much cooler than anything we have in New York.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like people know more about New York. So I'm like, okay, I'll just say it so that it's easier for people to get. And they're like, oh, no way. They have like a better reaction about it. But like sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm from Jersey. If they're from the East Coast, I'll be like, I'm from Jersey. If they're not, I'm like, New York.
But you have the permanent Jersey pride, right? You never hit it.
Always. No, never.
It used to, I mean, South Park kind of made fun of the "it's a Jersey" thing because of the Jersey Shore. So for a while there was that. Then people didn't want to be associated with the Sopranos. But I say, is there a better state than New Jersey?
I love New Jersey. I will hold New Jersey to my heart for the rest of my life. I love it. I can't talk bad about it ever.
Well, anyway, hey, back to you over here. You know, it's been a pretty big year for you so far, where the TikTok numbers keep growing and the school night showcase, etc. What are you working on at the moment that you're allowed to say? Because I get the vibe you're one of those artists of big things brewing, can't say.
I mean, I do always have a lot going on at once. But I have 2 releases planned out already for my next 2. 2 singles that I'm actually really excited for. There's always things in the works that I'm doing, which you just said I probably do come off as that. I do. I have a show coming up in Philly. I have a show coming up in New York. Probably gonna head over to London in a little bit to play a show there. So there's a lot happening.
Yeah, I say that, you know, not to look down, even though that'd be looking up at you with the stuff going on. But when you interview a lot of actors, you go, what are you working on? They go, well, Hollywood Reporter Variety hasn't yet reported on it, therefore I can't say. And then at the time you deal with label artists and you say, what are you working on? They go, well, there's a tour and there's an album. Am I allowed to say? No. Head of marketing said no. In your case, it looks like you are calling your own shots, even though it's at a higher level.
Yeah, no, I like to be very much head on with my creative everything. So there are things, like there's always an album in the works, but I don't want to say there is because I don't want people to be hounding me on it yet. I'm taking my time on it. But there's always things going on. I just make sure it's perfect before I actually announce it, so I could promise something and truly mean it. Well,
going through your credits, you know, working with people, Nick Lopez, Dave Gibson, Ed Holloway, top-notch people like that. How do those usually happen? Is it through management, publisher, or you actually reaching out?
It's normally through management or just like my team in general. I'm not sure exactly where it comes in, but all 3 of those people I absolutely adore and love working with so much. Ed, I worked with the first time I was out in London, and it was like such a great time. He's such a great guy. Dave, I wrote one of my favorite songs with. Nick, I write with all the time. So yeah, I love them. They're great.
Sometimes you can't get in the room until the publisher says so. And then there's the weird thing of, well, who do we bill for the writing session? Because we have to rent the room, etc. Do your writing sessions usually happen virtually?
No, they're all, so I just came back from LA. I always fly out and I go and meet them in person. Ed, I worked with when I was in London. So normally I've avoided the virtual thing. I started writing music when the pandemic hit. So I had my Zoom era. I'm happily out of that, and I never want to get back in unless it's needed.
Just your interviews with your favorite writers only. That's it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there's something really special about actually having that in-person connection and being able to write in person. The song normally comes out really, really beautiful and a lot more like intimate and collaborative, which I love.
When you're writing, do you have a defined role? Like every time you're the top line person?
I kind of do it all. I try to dabble in everything. Production, I let the producer do his thing. Obviously, I guide if needed, but normally how it goes is like we'll walk in, I'll kind of have like that therapy session of like, okay, this is what's going on in my life. This is what I want to write about. I make sure I'm very much in the writing process. I love writing. Top lining, I love. So I think we all kind of play a role in between of like what the topic's going to be, what the song is going to sound like, all that. It all comes together. So I dip at everything.
Yeah, you don't have to name names, but have you dealt with, as somebody who's done a lot of writing sessions, have you ever had the writing session situation where there's the person who all they are is the vibes person who doesn't actually write? They're there just to foster the experience?
I mean, yes and no. Like, here's the thing. I'm a vibe person. Like, I don't need you to touch the song. If you are a vibe and we are having a great time, I feel like a part of the writing and how I get a lot of lyrics is truly just from conversation. So it's
Mhm.
almost like they are writing just by talking with me. So there's been times where like it's more been like a vibe thing, but it works still with the lyrics and everything. So I'd say it kind of goes hand in hand. I've never had a writer that isn't a vibe, and I've never had a vibe person that doesn't help with the writing.
I've heard of Vive people, again, not naming names, that don't sing, don't play an instrument, don't really write the lyrics. It's just they're there and they go, "Hey, we're having a good time," right? And then that person is a third of the copyright somehow.
I haven't had that yet. I have not had that.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
That has not been a thing for me.
So you were on Colbert, right? I know I saw that performance, and it looked like it was a rehearsal room overlooking the ocean.
Yeah, we rented out a little area in New York and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful sunset outside after filming. And I was like, we should have waited just one more hour because it was stunning. But yeah, that was a great experience. It was so much fun.
As an old man, I grew up comparatively to you. I grew up watching a lot of late night TV. For example, that was really where I found most of my favorite artists. A lot of them were the musical act on Conan O'Brien, so they'd hit the air at 1:25 in the morning or whatever show was on against Conan. So for me, it became the most legitimate thing for an artist when they were on that late night talk show. I can't imagine that's the case for you, but was that a career changing thing for you to be on Colbert like that?
Yeah, I mean, no, it really is kind of still a life-changing thing. That's something that I've always wanted to do. Those late night shows, I watch them all the time. I love them. All the shows. I mean, I want to go on the Kelly Clarkson. I want to go on everything, So just having that opportunity was a dream come true to me. Like big time dream come true to me. It was really cool.
Did you have to perform the song like 4 or 5 times because they were testing the lighting and the sound?
No, it was a lot more chill. It was more of just like we definitely did it a few times, but not that many because it was very live. Like it wasn't even pre-recorded, nothing. It was truly just a live set. So it was really cool. Yeah.
Now you mentioned Kelly Clarkson and all that. The musicians that I initially grew up loving through the late night TV shows and 120 Minutes on MTV, most of them did not have a personality where they could work on a talk show. You give me a different vibe where you seem like you would be good for the game show portions that they do on the Tonight Show and all that, as in you're ready for that.
I appreciate that so much. Like,
in other words, you'll play the flip cup game or you'll play the improvising an impression off the index card.
I think I would crush it. I think I would murder that. I think I'd kill it.
So it's the opposite of the shy singer-songwriter that just wants to be known for their art. It's the personality. Did you already have that when you started out, or is it as you started doing interviews, you realized that you could do that?
No, I've always just been a very bubbly, outgoing person. I think what's cool is that when I started writing, it's almost opposite for me. When I started writing, it allowed me to open that really vulnerable and like quieter side of me that I don't really like to show. So I explain my music as like a journal ripped out of my diary. And that is what I will do for the rest of my life. So I try to show my personality as much as possible, just so people know that the bubbly and outgoing ones also feel the exact same way as like the quieter ones that kind of keep to themselves.
Right.
So I play a role in both, as everybody probably does, depending on where they are. But no, I've always just been a really bubbly, big personality.
So you're feeding into my good, positive stereotype, which is that usually the more serious the music, the better the hang and laughs that are happening the second that they say thank you, good night. And by that, I mean, anytime you see a metal band, the more screamy the metal band, usually the funnier they are.
Yeah. I mean,
Thoughts?
yeah, I've met a lot of people that I thought were gonna be like really sad and like completely just whatever, but complete opposite of their music. I think a lot of people, I mean, speaking for me, I use it as my therapy. Like that's my way of just getting my emotions out. So that's where I cry. And that's where I get everything out for people to cry with. And then if you meet me in person, you're meeting a completely different human. Like if you come to my shows, it's half just for fun and comedy and a great laugh, and singing and crying. I explain everything as like an emotional roller coaster if you're hanging with me.
Right. It's the exact opposite. I've interviewed a lot of comedians, and most comedians, oof, there is not one laugh to have in that conversation or interview.
Right. I love it. You just wouldn't expect that ever.
Yeah, it's really the opposite of the on stage, the opposite of the recorded media in the real life. So
Right.
thank you for being a fun person, a fun human being. So you mentioned touring. I know you did Mercury Lounge, which is a little bit of an underplay. Do you know the next time we're going to see you live in the New York area?
Yeah, June 8th, I'm playing at the Mercury Lounge. So
Okay.
that's really exciting. Love, love, love performing there.
I say underplay because let's be honest, you could sell a lot more tickets than that. It's just a comfortable, fun venue for you to play.
I appreciate it. No, I mean, the more intimate shows are also just as amazing as the bigger ones. And I love playing both equally. So yeah, no, as long as people show up and are ready to listen and want to have fun, then I'm excited for it.
So to kind of recap, the next two singles are done. There's the Mercury Lounge gig in about 6 weeks or so. We're going to have to wait and see what's happening. Is TikTok really the best way, or Instagram really the best way to keep up with the latest and greatest for you?
Yeah, I mean, all my socials, I'm very much active there. I post at least once a day on everything. So that is where I am 24/7. But coming to my shows and all that kind of stuff, yeah, for you to actually understand it. I mean, I have a website that I update all the time. It's rachelgrae.com, TikTok Rachel Grae, Instagram Rachel.Grae. I post vlogs now on YouTube as well. So you get to see more of a personality side and the behind the scenes of things. So yeah, if you want to find me, I'm on all socials.
Now, two questions, topics, then I'll let you roam free. The first one is TikTok. Were you on there when it was called Musical.ly?
Musically, I, I feel like I was, but I don't know if it was for singing. I think I was just having fun with my friends I'm saying I think because it was like, it's such a blur now to me. But I remember when Vine happened, my
Yes.
friends were like, we're going to make the best Vine of all time today. So if I was in the Vine days, I had to be in the Musically days and jump over to TikTok.
So there's lip sync videos of you.
I hope where nobody can find them. I'm praying, but yeah, I'm sure you could find something.
And then the last question I have for you has nothing to do with your music career and related success. It's every time the wife and I watch a TV show, we kill it in a week or less. You go, oh, we'll just watch one more. We binge, for lack of a better term. What should we be watching on TV? Do you have a recommendation or two?
Okay, here's the thing. I'm a big Love Island lover. I love Love Island.
UK or American?
UK.
Okay. Did you start with season 1? I'm interrupting you right here.
No, it's okay. I jump around. The only ones I haven't watched, there's 9 seasons out, and now I need to go backwards. I didn't watch 1, 2, or 3. I don't know why. I have no idea why.
Oh.
I need to now. But that's my guilty pleasure. I binge it every single time.
We've only seen Love Island UK 1, and it was so many episodes because American TV shows have different numbers than
So many.
UK. And I'm just kind of wondering, do I spend another 45 hours of my life watching this? Or did it peak with season 1?
Like, yeah. Like, obviously. No, I mean, it's one of those where I just like turn it on and I just don't think and I watch, and then I cry and think that I'm in the relationship too because I'm a hopeless romantic. So it's entertainment where I'm just like, all right, let's like live vicariously through for a minute. So if you like that kind of stuff, put it on while you're like cooking, like just have it like as a little watch on the side. It's a great time. Great time.
Got it. Do you have a second recommendation, or is it Love Island and Love Island UK are 1 and 2?
See, Outer Banks was a thing for me for a minute. I still haven't watched the new season though. So I can't vouch, but I'm excited to watch it. So that's 1. I watched All American when it first came out. Haven't watched the last one. I'm so bad when they stop for a while, I like forget, and then I'm way too late, and then it gets spoiled for me. So I try to like hop on immediately and just binge watch then. So I still have catching up to do on those, but those were great.
Well, there you go. I've now got homework and stuff to add to the list. So Rachel, thank you for your time. Looking forward to the next New York gig, the next single, etc. And now I know I have to check the TikTok every day or I miss that update.
Every day. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, you too.
Take care.
Paltrocast.